Okay. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Good morning. We're just getting started with the session, and we're also going live on YouTube. So you'll find us there as well. People joining us from YouTube, give us a hi on the live chat. And yes, people joining us from YouTube, give us a hi, and people joining us on Zoom. Just leave your name and the city that you're from. My name is Aparna. I'm going to be your host for today, and today it's going to be about you learning the difference between product manager and a product marketing manager. So you're going to understand the differences between these roles, what kind of skills you need to gain, and also a little information about the product management professional program. Okay. So Mridu Smita, hi, good evening. Faisal, good evening. Abhishek from Mumbai, good evening. Suryansh is from joining us from Andamans. He's our speaker today, he's one of our speakers. Neha, Sandeep. Yeah, just leave your name on the chat. Also, if you're joining us on YouTube, make sure you interact with us there as well. Yashwant from Vizag, Pawan, good evening, Jyoti. Hi. Mohammad from Saudi Arabia. Hello, Prince. Just let me know which city you belong to, you live in. I am Aparna and I live in Bangalore, India. Remember, this is a global webinar, so we have people joining from all parts of the world. Just leave your name on the chat. Okay. Praveen from Texas, Ria from Boston. Good morning to you guys. Yes, Jyoti from Mumbai, Yash from Ludhiana. Nice. Great. So we have people from YouTube as well. Sarmishtha from Bangalore, Jeremiah from Bhilai, Pavan from Kathmandu, Nepal. Nice. Rajneesh from Varanasi, Umar from Kashmir. Amazing. Okay. We have Kim from Jamaica. Yes, we'll have time dedicated for questions, Neha. Yeah. All right, great. So it's amazing to have you all today. So you're going to be, like I said, if you just joined, you're going to be learning the differences between what a product manager does and what a product marketing manager does. And we have two expert speakers with us today. I'm going to be introducing them to you very, very soon. And Suryansh here is going to help us understand the differences. Shannon is joining from UCSD Division of Extended Studies. She's going to be helping you understand a little bit about the program and how it's going to help you bridge that skill gap. Okay, Kelvin from Malaysia. Right, use the chat box, don't use the Q&A box. Okay, great. So now that you're all here and we've understood the agenda of the session, quick ground rules. Just remember that this session is being recorded. So let's say you miss something, do not distract the others by putting questions on the chat box. You will receive a recording link and a certificate after we've collected your full name. You will receive an email, a follow-up email containing the recording link and the certificate. Okay, so do not worry if you miss the session. And this session is also streamed on our YouTube channel. So you could also check there if, let's say, you missed something, right? Second thing, make sure you use the Q&A box for any questions and the chat box for interacting with the speakers when they ask you to put something on the chat box. Make sure you use the chat box only for that. Reserve the Q&A box for any kind of questions you have related to your career, whether it's related to upskilling, whether it's related to the program. Just leave your questions there. Okay. And towards the end is when we'll collect your name through a poll. where you will give us your full name, and that's how you'll receive your certificate. And in between the session as well, you're going to be receiving a lot of polls asking you questions to answer. So if you don't know where or how to locate polls, just click on those three dots. If you're joining on a mobile, you'll find polls, or the poll actually shows up on your screen. Okay, is that fine? I mean, a quick thumbs up if you've understood the ground rules. Yes, and please reserve the discussions related to the session. Do not try to distract or have any other discussions amongst yourself. Yeah, quick thumbs up, people on YouTube as well, if you've understood these ground rules. Okay, because we get a lot of these emails saying, you missed the session, you couldn't get access to the session. You will receive a recording if you've registered for the webinar. Okay, yeah, okay, great. Yash, Bhanu, all of you guys, Faisal, great, great. Okay, so now that you've all understood the ground rules, let me just help you understand what the agenda of the session is going to look like. Now, after you have understood the differences between these two roles, the product manager and the product marketing manager, you are going to understand what this program offers, the product management professional, which is offered in collaboration with UCSD Division of Extended Studies. Okay, so you're going to understand how this program prepares you for becoming a product manager. Yeah, and what kind of outcomes you can expect, what kind of skills you can expect yourself to have, along with enrollment steps. So towards the end is when we'll be reserving some time for Q&A. Okay, great. Now, before we get started, before I ask you, how many years of experience you have and we introduce the speakers, I also want to know what is your job role like? So are you a product manager already, or what do you work as? Just give me your job role, your current job role on the chat, and people on YouTube also please interact with us.
Correct. Maybe the industry that you work in, or you would like to tell
Yeah.
the organization where you work for. That would be good enough. Let's see different backgrounds that we have got. So we have got sales managers, we've got relationship managers, we have
Yes.
got business analysts as well. That's great. We've got microbiologists. That's good. HR, we've got a project manager from healthcare, we've got, let's say, a capacity manager, we've got already a PM,
Right.
auditor, admin, lawyer. That's great. I think, Aparna, we have got a good diversified set of audience today.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm just looking for comments on YouTube as well. Let us know, people on YouTube, what is your background like? So what do you work as currently? Okay, marketing manager. Someone is an MBA student on YouTube. Okay. Okay, we also have entrepreneurs in this webinar. Amazing. Good to have you, Manjuta. Manju. Yeah, Manju. Scrum Master, Project Engineer, Project Manager. Okay, great. Great. Someone is already a product manager. Okay, okay, okay. Great, amazing. Thank you so much for your responses. You're going to be, using the chat box more frequently once the session starts. Just a quick introduction about Simplilearn. So Simplilearn is the world's #1 online bootcamp, and we have a bunch of upskilling courses that empower people with digital skills. So you could check out simplylearn.com for all the courses that we have in different categories, including Gen AI, product management, project management, data, you name it, right? So just head to simplylearn.com and check out the portfolio of courses that we have. And that's just a little bit about Simplilearn. Now let's just understand who our speakers are going to be. Shannon McDonald is joining us from UCSD Division of Extended Studies, and she's the Director of Custom Training and Leadership there. So she's been a member of the University Professional and Continuing Education Association for a long time. She's also a member of the American Marketing Association. Thanks so much, Shannon, for joining us today. If you could just introduce yourself to the learners.
Hi, good morning from sunny San Diego. Actually, I was just explaining it's a little foggy here today, but I'm in San Diego, California. I am Shannon McDonald, and as was just mentioned, I am the Director of Custom Training and Leadership Programs at UC San Diego Extended Studies. Been with the university for 23 years, and I am a graduate of the university as well. So I'm very much looking forward to talking to you today, exploring a little bit about UC San Diego and what we do, and exploring our product manager program. So thank you so much. Looking forward to meeting all of you.
Great. Thank you so much, Shannon, for that introduction. Up next, we have Suryansh, who's going to be your expert speaker today. All your questions about product manager, product marketing manager, what these roles are, the differences, along with real world examples. You're going to learn all of that from him. He's been a former product owner at Accenture. He's got immense product expertise. He's headed product teams in tech and the edtech sector. So he's got all the knowledge that you need to take from him, and then utilize this opportunity to learn and understand the differences so that you can make an informed decision. Thanks, Suryansh, again for joining us today. If you could just introduce yourself.
Thank you, Aparna. Hello, everyone. Suryansh this side. I am joining from beautiful islands in India called the Andamans and Nicobar Islands. It's a beautiful place. I'm just happy to be here to share my experience and, guide you all to be a better product manager. As we'll see as we proceed to this session, you'll learn more about some of my experiences. So today's session, learners, it's all whatever we're going to be learning today, it's all going to be backed by some experience. So we're going to go around and have a look at Uber. We're going to have a look at some of the products where I was a product manager, and that's how we're going to see different roles that we're going to perform. Thanks, Aparna.
That's right. That's great. Thanks, Suryansh, for that introduction. Now, a little more about you. So we would love to understand how much experience you carry. So I'm just going to launch a quick poll on Zoom. You will find that on your screens. People on YouTube, thank you so much for your introductions. Just let us know how many years of experience you carry. Put the answer on the chat, on the live chat. People on Zoom, quickly choose whatever option is applicable. Yeah, okay. So a lot of you have more than 5 years of work experience. I'm going to be keeping the poll live for the next 30 seconds. Just make it a little quick. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yes. Please use the poll, not the chat box. Please use the poll. Please use the poll, guys. Daniel, Yash, Rohit. Please use the poll to answer this question. Okay, here you go. I'm just going to share these results with our speakers. Are you able to see the results, Shannon and Suryansh? You can see that we have a majority of them have more than 5 years of work experience. So they all do understand what a product manager or a product marketing manager is. But now over to you, Suryansh, and you can help them understand, take through these differences. You're on mute, Suryansh.
Thank you so much, Aparna. All right, learners, let's start. And I'd just like to ask you, Aparna, can you go to the next screen quickly? Let's close this. Perfect. Now, Aparna, I'll just share my screen and maybe then we can have some drawing going on. All right.
All right.
Learners, I'll quickly share my screen. Then I'll be asking you a couple of questions and maybe you can answer. Aparna, you need to, can you stop sharing? Thanks. All right, learners, thank you so much. And I have a small question for you. The question is that let's say when you are building a product, that could be anything. That could be, let's say, Uber. That could be, let's say, Gmail. That could be anything. All right. When you're building a product, could you name some activities that you could be doing? Let's say, Suryansh, we need to do some kind of development coding to get that tech product live. Could be an opportunity, right? Go ahead, learners, and give me your answers. Could you name some activities that go on while we are building a product? That's it. Go ahead. Just let's look at some of the answers that we'll be getting. You're free to answer in the chat. Oh, that's perfect. Someone mentioned, Suryansh, I think we first need to do some kind of research. Someone said testing. Someone said, requirements gathering. Great. We're going correct. Someone said, stakeholders. Okay. Requirements gathering. Research. UI UX. UI UX. All right. That's good. Someone says taking a market fit. That's good, learners. Another one said, we need to figure out the customer requirements in the first place. That's great. Few more answers, learners. We'll give 10 more seconds. R&D, that's great. Someone said, and most importantly, someone mentioned budgeting. Cool. All right. Now, learners, let's say you've done a good kind of a building work, and let's say you're building a product like Zomato or like Uber or Gmail. Could you tell me some of the teams that you would be needing to get that product live? Go ahead. Tell me that, Suryansh, I first need to work with this kind of a team. Go ahead. What are the different teams you would be working while you're developing a product? All right, we have Scrum team, which could be also written as a development. Makes sense. Finance, perfect. We need to work with finance because they're the one who's going to pass initial budget. Let's say we'll be working with testers. Good answer. All right, and we'll be working with, let's say, designers. Someone mentioned designers. Good. Great. Now, learners, let's say we have worked with these many team members and at the same time we have completed all of these tasks. All right. My next question for you all over here is, could you please tell me, yes, you need to tell me what are the certain milestones that we are looking forward to. That means we are headed on the right path. Obviously, the product is not going to be built in one day, right? My question is, what are the certain milestones that you could be thinking of? That, okay, Suryansh, the first milestone is that have we taken the user requirements completely in our development process? Or maybe we have successfully completed the quality assurance. So, could you tell me some of the milestones that you would be achieving to get know that you're absolutely. So someone is saying Suryansh prototype. Good word. Someone mentioned testing. What else we have? Beta launch. That's good. We'll just launch a version and then see how does it go. Let's say we'll have customer response. We'll be taking customer responses. Great, 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 great. Now, learners, I hope all of you agree that this is a small overview of what it takes to be someone who is in charge of building a product. All right. Now, here's a quick question for you all. And that question over here again is that let's say now my product is ready. My concern is I need to make aware that my certain product exists. My concern is that I need some user feedback so that I can obviously go ahead and make some changes. Another concern is I want to know whether I'm meeting the desired engagement targets or I'm meeting the desired sales targets and all, right? That's the question. Could you tell me how do I reach my users? You could, I know this question will vary depending on the industry we are in, but go ahead and give me some ways in which I can reach out to my potential users or customers. Go ahead. What are the different ways we could do that? Okay, so if someone says, digital marketing. Someone says, everyone don't join simply. If you could just monitor the over here, the chat section, that would help, Aparna. Right, right, right. All right. We're looking, do we have any other answers coming up? We got three new surveys, interviews, feasibility. All right. Someone mentioned that, we need to look at the feasibility part. Someone mentioned that we need to kind of have interviews. All right. That, do you like this product? Yes or no? Someone mentioned surveys. All right. Learners, just a small request. Please focus on what we are discussing, and these kind of messages can wait. Customer requirements, social media marketing. All right. Someone said, Suryansh, we need to have some kind of social media marketing. All right. All right. We need to give some kind of demos. Another one makes sense. Just someone mentioned demo. Out of curiosity, just answer it in the chat box, everyone. Has anyone tried eating Maggie? It's a very famous quick fast food, or let's say, something that you can easily cook in hardly 5 to 10 minutes. Have you tried eating Maggie noodles? Yes or no? Just give me a yes or no, right? I hope everyone would have. Maybe in India it's quite famous. There would be different versions in foreign countries. So learners, when Maggie was first introduced in India, in order to have adoption and in order to make people believe that this thing can be made in less than 5 minutes, you know what? Nestle people went door to door in India and cooked Maggie at their houses just to show that it is possible to make in 5 minutes. That's 5-10 minutes. That's how they started having people adopt their product. This is where learners we come to the differences. We have got two different roles over here. One is the role of a PM. The person over here is in charge of ensuring that whatever user requirements were considered in the starting actually become a reality. That would mean working with developers, that would mean working with, let's say, someone from the testing team, UI, UX, and obviously the finance team for the budgeting. At the same time, once the product gets ready, it's time for adoption. That's where you have different ways of, let's say, giving demos, social media marketing, surveys, interviews, feasibility tests. That's how your role shifts from being a product manager to a product marketing manager. I'll tell you a small incident. When I was working as a product manager in Accenture, we had this amazing product called Discover I. Now, it's again a personal example. This product was, you could say, something like a Google that everyone in Accenture could use to know what Accenture sells in the market. Obviously, Accenture being a services based organization that has a number of services, products that are made with different partners. Now, when I was a product manager over here, my 80% of the time of my career over there was there in ensuring that this product gets built. That meant different updates, that meant adding new industries, that meant having an AI integrated chatbot. And obviously, since the product was getting, let's say, developed in different phases, the UI UX would definitely change. That was my job role as a product manager. Now, what had happened was immediately after the success of this launch, we changed the product to become something known as a command and control center. Where, if let's say Rohit or let's say Krana or Pavan, they are the Accenture leadership and they would like to see what's happening in the finance industry, what client visits are we having, so on and so forth. So we needed some kind of a command and control center. And to do that, we had a team of around 80 plus resources who was providing this update using Excel sheets. It was a monthly update. And now we had to get all of these 80 users to migrate to our tool. Most importantly, this tool was never meant to be of this use. It was mainly a Google that, just see what Accenture makes. This is where the role shifted, and all the time, 100% of the time was spent in making these people aware that, that could be in the form of mailers. We created a lot of mailers for that, making them join calls and have some hands on that, try it, at least try it. So that's the reason our role from a product manager shifted to what we have, the product marketing manager. Now, Aparna, if you could share your screen, I'll just stop sharing and maybe let's see the slide that you were showing. All right, that's where we go with more of go-to-market strategies. See, sometimes when you're looking at a B2B or adoption, you need to have the client try that product with their team in front of you. That's how you're going to train them. Similarly, whenever we had, let's say, any new feature orientation or we had any new command being deployed on our Discover I product, it needed to be told as a story that, why don't you just go try this because it will help you save this much time. That's the reason storytelling becomes important over there. And obviously, the positioning needs sometimes, it's from experience I can tell you, sometimes the positioning also comes from the leadership or the client side, which clearly states that no, you need to adopt it no matter what. I'll tell you another quite famous example. When I was working there, we had something known as Skype, and then the Teams product came. I tried, let's say I'll not use Teams. What happens? A time came when they stopped Skype in Accenture. They said you need to switch. There is no other choice. So there are different ways wherein you transition role from a PM to a product marketing manager. Let's go to the next one, Aparna. All right. I think Aparna, you could, take up this one.
Right. So now that you've understood what a product manager does and what a product marketing manager does. I was just typing that question for you guys. Now, did you understand that? Just a quick yes. Did you understand the differences? Because Suryansh shared some amazing real world examples. Yes, people on YouTube, also give me a yes if you did. Yeah, yeah, yes. Okay, great. Sora, great, great. Yeah, a big yes by Rohit. Okay. Okay, okay. So I'm sure, in the context of any kind of tech product, you do know what a product manager does, what kind of skills they need to have, or what a product marketing manager does, right? So let's just understand, let's say you are a product manager today, what kind of roles would you be taking up later going forward, right? So how can you chart your career path forward? So you could take up some strategic roles. Let's say you could take up leadership roles in the product function, which involve a lot of product planning and seeing multiple product teams, could be multiple product lines. And here's what you'll be earning in an average. This is again taken from interview start and product school. So you'd be earning somewhere around $150K to $250K a year, right? So that's when you take up some strategic product related roles. Now, let's say you are a technical person and you understand tech and you're driven by tech, you're passionate about tech. You could also be, driving innovation where there's overlap between tech and product. So that you could drive innovation in places where technology plays a huge role in the product. Now, in that case, again, you would be earning anywhere between 130K to a $250K a year, right? Or let's say you are already someone who's had immense work experience, you're looking to leverage that experience and start up. You could also think of entrepreneurship. So I mean, we had a couple of entrepreneurs here as well. So you could use these skills to start off your own ventures and kind of utilize these learnings and bring whatever insights you have and bring products to life. Or you could become a consultant who's offering your expertise to drive growth for other ventures, or you could be a freelancer, anything. So you could have, or you could use these roles to kind of continue your journey in product management, right? So Suryansh, if you could just help the learners understand what's coming up in product management. So what should people be watchful about? What should people be aware about?
Thank you, Aparna. Learners, let's look at this. I think the word AI you've been hearing day in and day out for obvious reasons, and you have been hearing it across industries, right? First of all, I need to tell you something. You don't need to be worried that it's going to take your job role as a product manager. That's not going to be true, because it is helping you, let's say, cover around 70 to 80% of your mundane tasks pretty easily. Therefore, today, especially in terms of writing emails, doing market research, doing competitor analysis, knowing some weaknesses about your competitors, or knowing some kind of approvals that you might need, or preparing for a meeting. Let's say today, let's say Shannon is a client, and she is, let's say, working in a big company like Shell, or maybe she's from HP or Dell. And I'm the product manager from, let's say, a big services company like Accenture. We're about to get in a meeting. Now, it's always good to know something about what is happening in Shannon's industry. Let's say she's from British Petroleum or from Shell. So it's good to know what's the current oil price, or maybe it's good to know what's the recent happenings in the company. Therefore, AI can be pretty useful in that rather than going through the normal Google route. It can also tell you a brief history about the company so that you come prepared for the meeting. At the same time, it says that, focus on omni-channel marketing, focus on customer experience, and it says cross-functional collaboration to align with product capabilities and customer needs. See, learners, the tech part that we just studied of usage of AI, it's prominent and it's helping you get your job done. When you talk of these things like focus on omni-channel marketing, today you'll see that there are certain products, for example, Uber, they'll try to reach out through you to always. Many a times you'll have, if there is a new launch by Uber, you could have its stalls being set up about corporates as well, just to promote. For example, when Zoomcar was launched in India, instead of simply having a promotion of their app, they did their promotions in all the business schools, wherein these youngsters would take up their cars and go ahead and have a nice drive. Therefore, these trends exist only to help you do your job better. Over to you, Aparna.
Right. Great. Thanks. Thanks so much for highlighting what's coming up in product management. Now, let's just understand if you are already a product marketing manager or if you want to transition to becoming a product marketing manager, what should you be looking forward to? I mean, what should your career path look like? So you are already running or driving a lot of go-to-market plans for bringing the product to the market. So you could become a go-to-market strategist or a consultant where you are in a more advisory positions for teams, for product teams, or even for whole companies. You're helping them craft their messaging and bringing the product to the market, right? So that's one option. Or you could help companies brand themselves better. You could become a brand management lead, helping companies, again, teams or smaller group of teams, whatever the case is. You are helping them create a strong brand message, and you're helping them position themselves as a brand so that it resonates with the customers that they're targeting better, right? Or you could be a product led growth expert. So essentially, product led growth expert, they're going to be working closely with the product teams to drive better user experience so that there's growth in the product and eventually helps the organization with revenue or generally growth in all formats, right? So these are your options if you are a product marketing manager. What to look out for, what is exactly happening on the marketing front if you are a product manager. I think Suryansh, you're the best person here.
Well, thank you, Aparna. Learners, I'll just give you one practical example over here. Maybe you can try this as well once you go, or maybe check your devices. So go to Gmail. There will be a lot of promotions coming up on your mail, which we all ignore. All right. Just go to the promotion section and open any one or two promotions that have recently come up. It mainly comes from banks or credit card institutions. All right. Just open one or two of them and just wait for a second. If you open one or two, at the same moment, you'll keep getting more and more promotions from the same brand. For example, let's say I am a customer of Axis Bank. The moment I open one promotion of Axis Bank, even I don't need to close my device. That's the very same moment, multiple promotions back to back will keep on coming on my device. Now, this kind of a system is definitely working at some place, right? That's where your AI, automation integration, your data-driven customer centricity comes in the picture. There's something known as increased focus on privacy and first-party data. Now, because of especially GDPR, I think most of you would be aware of GDPR. It's the new privacy law that has been adopted in Europe. And obviously, we've been hearing cases against big giants regarding data privacy. Another area that is coming up where we may not be very well versed as of now, but still it's evolving. So therefore, as a PM or as someone who is leading the marketing effort, you must be aware on how these data aspects can be taken care. For example, in India, there has been a heightened focus on data localization. So let's say if you are a financial institution, you have to keep my data in India itself. Again, the problem arose that can we keep a, what do you call it, a copy kind of a data in foreign countries? Yes or no? That is something we keep on updating. Over to you, Aparna.
Great. Thanks so much, Suryansh, for taking that up. Someone had a question. If you could use the Q&A box, and this is for everyone else who's still hesitating to put their questions, just use the Q&A box and put in all your questions. Like I said, there's going to be a segment where we are answering all these questions, whether it's related to your career, it could be technical as well. So we're going to be answering that towards the end. So please use the Q&A box here. Right. So Suryansh, would you want to
All right, sure.
summarize
Let's
how?
go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Now, learners, let's start. I'll quickly share my screen and let's have a small discussion on a product which we think most of us would be aware is Uber. All right. Yeah, again, I'll be asking you certain questions and I would be requesting quick responses. You're free to give those responses on the chat box. Learners, just let me know by typing yes or no if you can see my screen. Just let me know in the chat box. The Suryansh is your screen is visible. The screen is visible, learners. All right, thank you. Let's go. We'll take up new board and we're going to start with this word called Uber. All right, today learners, let's step in the shoes of a product manager as of now, and let's start discussing. As a product manager, you've thought of this beautiful idea called Uber. Wherein we're going to have a platform where prospect clients who would be going to work, or let's say would like to go for a vacation, or let's say would like to go for a city, they can access rides at their fingertips. All right, in simple words, you're providing business as well to the nearby cab operators. That's the idea that you have thought of. And now it's the first day, you're the product manager, you're pretty excited. Could you tell me what all activities will you be performing if you're the product manager at Uber? Do not consider Uber as it is today. All right, it's a well established platform with global access and countless number of features. All right, so just focus and tell me, it's a new idea, it's a day one. What all activities would you begin with if you are the product manager at Uber? Go ahead, learners. Let's see what all answers we can get. I'm giving lots of options over here. Maybe you could say that, Suryansh, first I'll be creating some kind of a prototype, or go ahead, I'll be recruiting team members for development. Go ahead, learners. Let's see what answers do we get. You're free to answer on the chat box now. All right, I'm getting. I Go ahead, learners. Any updates from your end? Okay, so you're saying that first I need to identify I'll just change the ink over here so that we'll first identify the target customers. That's great. You'll say that I'll create user stories. Great. I first need to understand and create some user stories. We need to create a stakeholders list. All right, so that we know whom we are really gonna work with. Threats. That's great. Someone says that understand the threats from the market. The question over here, Shruti, is that it's the first day and we are developing a product called Uber. What are different activities would we be performing? For example, we could be doing some study of the market threats, we would be understanding our stakeholders, we would be identifying a target audience, identifying our competitors. That's the question. Market analysis, we'll be doing some competitor analysis. All right. And we've got, we'll understand user pain points. That's great. And can you, what else we've got? Right, that's great. Someone said first, Suryansh, we need to create a brand. That's good. Let's say, we need to think more of the design perspective. The app should be such that anyone and everyone can use it. All right, how much it's gonna cost? Where are we in terms of funding part? All right, what our competitors are doing. That's great. What's something that sets them apart? All right, great. All right, let's keep it this way. Maybe we'll also be creating some prototypes. All right, now learners, this is what we do as a product manager when we talk of a product like Uber. All right, now consider this scenario that we've worked pretty hard. We have a team of developers and they have done whatever it takes, learners, to get you what we have today is an Uber app. All right, our Uber app is now ready. Obviously, it is not as, you know, what do you say, user centric. It is not having these many features, but it's good enough to be launched wherein I can book a cab, I can cancel a cab, I can pay online, and I can do some ratings. All right, let's say we have got these four features, learners, which is say book a cab, cancel a cab, I can pay online, and obviously I can give ratings. Now, learners, it is an app available both in iOS and Android. Step in the shoes of a product marketing manager and now tell me, learners, how are you gonna launch this product? As in, what all you're gonna do so that people download your app and they start using. Go ahead, let's see what answers we've got. Discounts, excellent answer. Sure. Who said discounts? Purabit, that's good. You'll offer discounts. That's good. Promotions, advertisements, all right. It would be good, learners, if you could mention what all promotions or where all promo referral bonus. That's a very good answer. You'll have referral bonus. That's good. Social media campaign. Great. So we've got social media campaign. We've got free first ride. Good answer. All right. What else? What else? What else? What else? We've got digital marketing, gamification. Right. That's good. First, you will have gamification. We have vouchers. All right. Now, learners, this is something that Uber did so that we all could download the app first and use it the way we use it today. All right. Now, here's a small challenge, learners. All these answers you gave me because you were pretty aware of them. You were the end receivers of these kind of initiatives. Now, no one will write anything in the chat box. And here's a small challenge. All right. The challenge over here is, learners, that apart from these ideas, any new idea has anyone got? How will you make people download the app and use it? All this is fine. Referral, social media, discounts, that's perfect. All answers are correct. Take a moment's pause. Think of any idea that you think, you know, uh, this is something new, Suryansh, that this is how I'm going to make people download it by mouth publicity. Okay. Then, learners, I'm going to tell you an interesting example. All right. Generate demand. Good. Free, no cost offers. Okay. Okay. What else, learners? Let's see influencer campaign. Okay. Okay. Still influencer campaign. All right. What else? What else we've got? Simple and easy to handle. Okay. Think more, learners. Benefits of downloading create the need of the app. Okay. Let's say we'll show the users that you need this app. Okay. What else? What else have we got? That's a good answer, Upadhyaya, wherein we'll have benefits from other platforms. That's good. That's good. Uh-huh. Okay, offer prize money if user. All right, that's good. Some kind of a quiz or prize money. All right. See, learners, now you see how both the job roles are interesting. At one point of time, you're thinking how you get the product better or how you get the product to be available in the given time. And the second is you use your brain how to make it adopted good. Now, learners, here's a small story. So, what happened? How many of you are from Mumbai, or how many of you have heard of this delicious food item called vada pav? It's a standard food breakfast for almost anyone and everyone living in Maharashtra, Mumbai. Go ahead, tell me yes or no. Have you heard of this thing called vada pav? Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Just tell me yes or no. Okay. Now, what happened when this was a long time back? We had this client in Mumbai, which is one of the biggest, what do you say, sellers of vada pav in Mumbai. The name is Goli Vada Pav. Now, what had happened? Uh, they were thinking that, our vada pavs are getting good adoption. Now, we would like to know, Suryansh, apart from vada pav, what is it that people would like to have? Let's say we're looking at what drinks people would like to have with vada pav. It could be a soft drink, it could be tea, coffee, it could be maybe a lemonade, could be anything. And seeing the size of our outlets, we can't have everything, right? It's expensive to have inventory of different soft drinks, and soft drinks also have different options. So we can't keep anything and everything. So we need to know. All right. Any idea, learners, how do you solve this problem? How do you come to a conclusion, or you ask users what do you want, or how would you do it if given a chance? Right, Anthony? Jumbo King, yes. Go ahead. How would you do that? Surveys. Thanks, Shruti. That's great. You would take a survey that get feedback. What exactly you would like to have. Okay. What else? What else? What else? Go ahead. Give them options. Okay. Now, what we did, learners, someone mentioned this word called gamification. What we did, we went to a mall and we set up a Goli Vada Pav stall outside that mall. Okay. We offered free vada pavs to everyone that would come to our stall with only one condition, that once you have eaten the vada pav, you need to play a small game. And that game is, remember in that fairs we used to have wherein we would throw these loops, and if the loop would land on a specific item, that item would be yours. Remember it? While we were kids, we used to play that game. We played that game. Now, we were not interested whether the people were getting what they were wanting to have, but we kept tea, coffee, different soft drinks as options. Now, you've just eaten vada pav, and that's what the question is. We would like to know what would you have. Now, after eating vada pav, you try to throw the loop at the drink that you would like to have now. And through that, when we had thought that, soft drink would be the most common option, the answer came out to be tea. That's how we got to know that tea is the most preferred option, and that's how the adoption of tea started increasing when we were selling our vada pavs. Therefore, it's visible in tech products as well. However, the same things get replicated when you're talking of offline products. All right, that's one example that I just want. There are many other examples. We'll see if time permits towards the end. We can have a look on that as well. All right, that's how learners, your job role would shift from a development point of perspective to more of, let's say, how you get people adopt, or moreover, how you get the people use your product. One more thing. Please do not get carried away with the products that we use. Referral, discounts, free rides work very well for a certain industry. Many a times, adoption also comes with a stick. For example, in B2B products, when a new software, or when a, let's say, new tech product is being deployed for usage, many people would not like to switch. Hey, I'm already using, let's say, Gmail. Why should I switch to Outlook? Therefore, many a times you need to use stick approach, that you need to get it done. There is no other option. Be prepared for these kind of lessons as well as a product marketing manager, wherein you will have to force your authority that they say, hey, see, there's no other choice. The other product is getting, you know, it's getting removed from deployment, and you don't have any other choice apart from using. So there are different options, and these options vary across industries. Now, Panna, learners, if you are good with this, just type yes or no in the chat box. Let's have a quick, understanding over here. Just type yes or no in the chat box. Aparna, I'll just stop sharing, and maybe you can take up the screen sharing now. Let's see what answers learners are giving.
Thank you, Suryansh. I think, I mean, with that vada pav example, I'm sure everybody did understand what product marketing
Uh,
is. I don't think there are doubts there. People on YouTube as well, give us a yes if you have understood the differences between a product marketer and a product
Thanks.
manager.
Same thing goes over here, learners. What we just discussed over here, through, as I told you, everything we're gonna learn today in this session today, it's all gonna be backed by experience and stories. So what we discussed is what we are seeing on our screen right now. Aparna, we can go to the next one.
Great. All right. So the next one is actually a question for all of you, which is what I was coming to. Now that you've understood these differences, you tell us as to what is that gap that is stopping you from becoming an expert product manager. So what I'm going to do is launch a quick poll, okay? And you're going to be giving us your answers there. People on YouTube, you could give us the answer on the live chat. What is stopping you from becoming an expert product manager? Choose the best option that you feel is appropriate. Yeah, let's say, please choose the option on the poll. Manju, yeah, your work schedule, it could be the fact that you can't learn from pre-recorded lessons, could be the fact that you don't have the practical exposure which you got today in today's session, or it could be the fact that you didn't have a comprehensive curriculum to learn from. Okay, yes, yes. People on YouTube, just give us the numbers, maybe 1, 2, 3, or 4. Could be difficult for you to type the whole option there. Yeah.
Learners, adding on to, just by the time you complete that poll, you know what Red Bull did to ensure that people start drinking it, just to gain some popularity. What they did, they started throwing empty cans of Red Bull across dustbins present across pubs and clubs. Now, when new people started coming to pubs and clubs, they saw a lot of Red Bull empty cans in the dustbins, and they thought that people inside are drinking a lot of Red Bull. So why shouldn't they try doing that? And that's how people initially started using or drinking Red Bull. So yes, the ways you need to get your product adopted may vary. You can just continue with the poll now.
Yes. Okay, great. So I was just going to end the poll. now and share these results. So, yeah, if Shannon and you, Suryansh, could see the results. So most people feel that they don't have the practical exposure that they need to become a product manager. Reena from YouTube feels that she does not have knowledge about this. Reena, I'm sure with the session, you've got adequate knowledge. If you can just go through the whole session once again, you will understand the differences. Your job prospects, all of that, Reena, I'll discuss that later. I'll put that across to our expert very soon. But yeah, largely people feel that they don't have the right kind of practical exposure that they need, even though they have access to the learning material, right? Yes, favor shed 28. You are going to get access to the recording for this meeting, but make sure you stay till the end, submit your name, and that's how it's going to be available. Okay. That is where the product management professional program comes in, right? So you have a bunch of case studies, you have a bunch of projects, along with a curriculum that's designed by industry experts, that's delivered to you in the form of live virtual classes, right? So Shannon here is just going to take you through a bit about the program and a bit about the UCSD Division of Extended Studies. Over to you, Shannon.
Thank you. Yeah, so excited to share with you a little bit more about the program. So we're very happy to be partnering with Simplilearn on this program. It's been a great partnership, and we've had so much success so far in offering one of our first product management programs, or in the past year or so. So we're very excited to bring this to you. What makes this stand out, especially our partnership with Simplilearn, is we're leveraging their world-class learning management system. And on this world-class learning management system, we are going to be offering an incredible curriculum that is designed to equip you with the skills to manage the entire product lifecycle effectively. So you were saying you may not have that exposure, you may not have that knowledge. This is going to effectively give that to you. The program includes Harvard Business Publishing case studies, podcasts, practical experience. So we heard that in the poll, right? That you don't have the practical experience. This is a live session that allows you to engage not only with the instructors, but your peers, and which is so important, that peer-to-peer learning, engaging with our expert instructors that are part of this program. That is how you get that practical experience. You're going to be using the top product management tools. You're going to be working through product teardown sessions, master classes, and so much more. I'm just scratching the surface here. So that is part of what you're going to be gaining here. As I mentioned, it leverages instructors and industry experts that provide real-world, industry-relevant projects and more. As you heard from Suryansh today, that's the type of learning you're going to have. You're going to get these amazing demos, and you're going to be walking through these case studies that really put into it's going to really capture what you need to learn as a product manager and put that into action.
Yeah.
This is going to be a challenging program because it's of academic rigor. So we want you to know that you're not going to walk away from this program without learning something and knowing how to do this job. So there will be pre-work and homework along the way, and you will be required to attend these live online sessions. Again, this is not sitting back and doing this passive learning. You're going to be actively engaging in the course. Promotes interaction, discussion, as I've mentioned. We will be, sorry, just a second. Then this is also flexible to meet your lifestyle, right? So we heard in the poll that some of you have been worried about what can I do this? Can I fit this into my life? Yes, we require about 10 to 15 hours a week, but it's geared towards the working professional. We understand the lifestyle constraints you may have, families at home, working. Maybe you're going to school, as some of you have said, you're actively in an MBA program. Well, this is designed to work around those lifestyle things that you have going on. Work-life balance is key.
Great.
The program duration is 8 months, as it says here. So that's just a little bit about program. We're going to be getting into more details in the next few slides. All right, so a little bit about UC San Diego. We are located right here in San Diego, California. We are a student-centered, research-focused, service-oriented public institution that provides a lot of amazing quality learning. It's recognized as one of the top research universities in the world. We've had 16 Nobel laureates that have taught on campus, in addition to having amazing faculty members that have been awarded with National Medal of Science, field medals, Pulitzer Prizes, MacArthur Fellowships, and many other honors, including a Tony Award and an Academy Award. So some of our notable alumni include actor Benicio del Toro, former baseball player and executive Billy Beane, actor-producer Mike Judge, author Khalid Hosseini, and biotechnologist and businessman Craig Venter, just to name a few. We are a member of a 10-campus family in the University of California, San Diego, and offer a number of undergraduate and graduate programs, and are we're a member of Western Association of Schools and Colleges, which is WASC. As a part of that, the Division of Extended Studies, which is the sponsor of this program, we have been part of the university for almost as long as the university's been around, so approximately 60 years. We are the continuing education arm of the university, serving the local, national, and international communities. We offer a variety of different programming areas, 100 certificate programs, and over 4,500 courses, and offer these programs in a range of modalities. As you can see here, we offer courses to an average of 35,000 students a year, making us as big as the main campus as a whole.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Shannon, for that introduction about the course. Could you just take the learners through about who the program advisors are?
Sure. So we tap into, we have program advisors who oversee this program, review the curriculum, what it entails, and ensuring its completeness, including Nick Cesaris, who is here on the screen. They validate that this program will be a comprehensive curriculum equipped with you to learn. We have a number of other instructors and experts that have reviewed this program and teach in the program, and excited to share their incredible knowledge with you.
Right, great. So people who are asking us about the cost, the placement assistance, I will be answering these questions just in a bit. But for those trying to understand what you need to get into this course, all you need is a bachelor's degree, and you could be working in any background. So remember, we asked you which job role you're working in. So what's your job role currently, right? So you don't have to have a product management experience or marketing experience to be a part of this course. So all we need is a bachelor's degree with some work experience, just so you understand the context of things that happens. And most importantly, the willingness to upskill and willingness to advance in your professional journey. Because this course, like Shannon mentioned, is not any other course. It will involve your active involvement in learning. It's not going to be passive learning. So you're going to be doing a lot of things hands-on to learn all the nuances of product management, right? So the most important thing, apart from your time, is your willingness to learn, right? Now, moving just a little more about this program. Suryansh, if you could just help the learners understand what the curriculum is looking like for this course.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Aparna. Now, learners, many answers we got over here were pertaining that we don't have the requisite domain or the practical knowledge to get in a profession, something like this, right? We are not from tech background. We are not engineers. How are we supposed to get something which relates to building of tech products? All right. We all are very well aware of this situation. Now, that's how the curriculum or the entire session is faced. I'm telling you because I myself have created content for this curriculum. All right, whatever capstones as we're going to see, they have been created by me. The decks that have been created for tools, I'm also a trainer for tools. Therefore, when we interact for the first time with these budding product managers, we begin with a very simple orientation just to tell what exactly is the role of a product manager and what are you supposed to do. That's it, pretty easy, straightforward. In layman terms, anyone and everyone is good enough to understand. That's how the initial, modules are shaped. You may look at words something known as prototyping. You may look at words product planning. They may appear to be as jargon, something you're not well aware of, but believe me, when you will create prototypes using your own hands on Balsamiq tool or Figma, you're gonna feel that it's not it's not gonna be difficult. It's pretty easy. Again, once you've got some kind of experience in the earlier modules of having a small introduction, we go on and teach you how do you interact with someone known as a UI UX person. See, as product managers, again, you're not supposed to be a UI UX expert. All you need to be aware of is how do you communicate in such a way that person understands. That's it. And some basics of his domain should be there for you to understand. That's it. Once that happens, we go on to some designing. And designing, I don't mean to say some designing of a software or an architecture. No. Designing pertains to, if you were given, let's say, a certain requirements, are you able to jot it down in such a manner that you can explain it to certain developers that, let's make something which looks like this, so that people can maybe order food online, or maybe people could make payments online, or let's say people can easily have a real-time view of all their financials at any given point of time. And this is where majority of your role of learning as a product manager comes to an end, because the next role that we come up is what are the different marketing opportunities. I think we're all aware because we all are recipients of those marketing opportunities, be it email, social media and all. So we go around with understanding different product marketings, we understand about KPIs, so on and so forth. Again, it's something that you will be doing with your own hands, therefore it's more of hands on. That's the reason we focus only on live sessions. Next comes up is more of what is called the software development and tools. See, learners, the tools that we talk of, they are not something that require coding. They don't require any tech background. Just a quick question for everyone present in the call. How many of you are aware of Microsoft PowerPoint? Just type yes or no in the chat box. That's Suryansh, what kind of a question is this? This is something which I use day in and day out, right? Congratulations, learner. Congratulations. If you are aware of Microsoft PowerPoint, then a tool like Balsamiq will be a cakewalk for you. All right. Next one. Next one. This another quick question. How many of you have used something known as Microsoft Teams? Or maybe how many of you have used something known as Skype, which was earlier, right? If your answer is yes, Jira, which is yet another tool, would be a cakewalk. Therefore, all tools are pretty easy for you to understand. They have been framed in such a way that even a non-techie can easily master those tools in the live sessions. The only thing is you got to be attentive in those live sessions. That's when you get the maximum usage out of it. I personally take those sessions, so that's how I can tell you. Learners, in fact, share their screenshots with me over the call. That's really, see, this is what we have made. How does this look? One part over here that we see is introduction to software development. Don't worry, we are again not going to teach you to become coders. Many a times when we are working with development teams, certain terminologies like agile, scrum, let's say someone says sprint, these are commonly used. Therefore, that time you shouldn't have a sorry figure and saying that, hey, I'm not aware of what a sprint is. Therefore, we accustom you to these kind of terminologies and give you an orientation on how different development teams work. See, you're not going to be a developer who's going to make these things, but you're going to be someone who is going to be responsible. That's the reason some of their language is mandatory for you to understand, and this can easily be taught to no matter what background the person has. The last part, learners, comes up is what do you say, the amalgamation of whatever you have studied and the answer to all your queries. If you don't have the requisite product, or what do you say, the practical knowledge, this is what is going to answer, which is your capstone project. I'm going to cover that in little detail, but before that I would like, maybe Aparna, you could go ahead and explain more about the electives. Let us stay over there. The capstone briefing I'm going to give you as we proceed, because capstones are something which I have personally created, and along with the solutioning and all, I take the sessions on how to solve capstones as well. That's the reason I'll take capstones in a moment, by the time Aparna covers the electives.
Right. So, along with the detailed curriculum that Suryansh just explained, you have master classes that are conducted by faculty from UCSD Division of Extended Studies, and also product management market master classes from industry experts. Now, this is your chance to interact with experts in the field, and you could get all of your questions answered. And along with all of the practical learning that you're doing through the curriculum, you're also kind of getting this validation that you're kind of learning things that are industry relevant, things that will
Right.
make you job
At,
ready.
at the same time, learners, you see something known as AI powered product management. It's there at the bottom right corner. See, now if you feel that I'm going to teach you, because I personally take that and I've created content for that. If you feel that, hey, Suryansh, you're going to teach me how to use ChatGPT or Gemini, you're mistaken, because these tools need not be taught. They're so easy to use that even maybe you don't need to be a graduate to learn that. How I structure this or how I take the session, because that's how the content has been made by me. I'll give you scenarios. Let's say you are General Electric and you would like to enter an engine market of manufacturing engines in, let's say, India. Could be a scenario. And then you're going to be a question that you have to solve. For that scenario, I'll be giving you certain tools, ChatGPT, Google Gemini, and go ahead, use these tools on solving this particular problem. Therefore, that AI powered product management session is an amalgamation of over 100 live problems that learners solve while they are in the session using these tools. That's the reason whatever we're going to be studying, all live, and the best learners come out once they have the best interaction in the sessions. Over to you, Aparna.
True. Great. Thanks, Suryansh, for kind of telling them about the electives as well. So, like Suryansh mentioned, these are the tools that you're going to be learning. You're going to be using them practically, and that's how you'll understand how they're used in the real world. Along with that, you're going to understand how AI can be leveraged in product management, right? So again, it's not exactly about using ChatGPT to use prompts and then whatever use it to make products. It's about how you can leverage and build products that are actually engaging, right? So apart from this curriculum, what you get is capstone projects which you can use to showcase to your future employers, or when you're applying for jobs. This is the proof that you actually have practical product management experience. So Suryansh, could you again take the learners through what the capstone projects look
Yes,
like?
yes. What I would request you, Aparna, I'll just share my screen. Maybe you can
Sure.
stop sharing now.
Yeah.
Because learners, the topic that we're going to cover now is going to take care of majority of questions that you all may have. This from the previous experience we have seen. I'll just take those questions with this particular slide. Learners, screen is visible, yes or no? Learners, I hope screen is visible, yes or no? Just type in the yes in the chat box. Perfect. Now, learners, this is one small query that I have received multiple times, that Suryansh, you telling me so many things, but I don't have. Absolutely correct. This is a kind of a scenario that I ideally fit in. Go ahead, learners. Just let me know yes or no in the chat box. Right, I'm getting some responses in the chat boxes. All right, I've received multiple responses stating yes in the chat box. Learners, first thing, most important, I'd like to highlight one part over here is, do not believe in the aspect that you don't have knowledge over here. Because when I was interacting with you, I was told that someone is from a microbiology background, someone is from finance background, someone is from HR, someone is an entrepreneur, someone is from, we got other options which were pertaining to different fields, right? Someone said, I am a BA, right? Therefore, learners, you already possess something known as a domain knowledge. Now, what happens when you have domain knowledge? I'll give you one example. Let's say today, again, let's take one learner's example. Let's say today, Akshay. Akshay is from Bank of America. Okay, Akshay, you're working for BOFA. It's commonly called Bank of America. All right. Now, Akshay is from Bank of America. And let's say we've got another learner who is Saurabh. Saurabh is working at, let's say, Accenture. Now, what happens? Accenture is pitching Bank of America, hey, why don't you become our client? Now, what happens? Bank of America says, perfect, let's have a conversation. Now, Bank of America comes in the picture and starts having a small discussion. Accenture, being a tech firm, would obviously have lots and lots of developers, lots and lots of techies, for sure, right? Because that's what a tech firm is all about. You're supposed to have lots of tech-enabled employee. Now, when BOFA starts discussing their requirements, now remember, learners, it's a financial institution. Financial institutions will talk in their own jargons. They could talk of words related to credit ratings. They could talk of words related to treasuries. They could talk of words related to monetary policy. They could, let's say, go ahead and talk about liquidity, solvency issues. A techie may not understand any of it because a techie understands what he's seeing on the screen, which is lines of code or maybe software architectures. This is where learners, a capable product manager comes in because this person knows how to talk to these developers. This person has got some basic knowledge on how these development teams work. However, this person, let's say, is from a finance background, has 90 to 100% knowledge because he has previously worked in a bank. So the person knows what Bank of America is actually talking of. Now, Bank of America would be very happy to know that Accenture has someone who is from finance background. Now, Bank of America is very well aware that this person knows what exactly a financial institution would need. Therefore, Bank of America does not worry that I need to talk to developers. Bank of America says, hey, let's talk to you. You know how to get it done. Perfect. I, as a product manager, says, I completely understand because I'm from your field. I'll get it done. That's the reason people who have got different domain knowledge, they bring in their own set of expertise. Now, this expertise could be in finance, it could be HR, it could be recruitment, it could be hardware, it could be customer service, could be anything whatsoever you could think of. Therefore, you already possess some domain knowledge. And that's how you become, what do you say, a good fit for a product manager's role. The question arises, how do I show it? My resume will show, because that's how the selections are made, my resume will show domain knowledge. My resume will show this certificate. All right. But how am I going to show that I actually possess product manager's knowledge? This is where learners, your capstone projects come in the picture. Once you solve capstone projects, you are telling a possible recruiter that I, being from this domain, I have got this domain knowledge. And after understanding problem statements of Netflix, Meta, Tesla, that's what we'll be solving. The capstones comprise of all of these big names. After analyzing the problem statements, I have solved them using my product manager skills. I know how to create wireframes. I know how to create user stories. And apart from all of this, I've got a very good domain knowledge under my kitty. This is how learners, you're going to show that you've got good practical knowledge about the domain you're from, and your capstone projects will show practical knowledge of your product management skills. That's the reason the capstone projects determine the best or the worst that you have made out of this particular curriculum. That's why we have around 1 hour session for every capstone project. Then another session wherein we discuss lots of doubts. What doubts did you face? We also teach learners how to make your capstones in such a way that they stand apart from others. See, when you apply for a PM role, always remember, once you are screened in, you'll definitely have to solve a capstone. That's how you'll go to the next interview round. Therefore, we give you experience of solving 5 to 6 capstones. That's the reason capstones show your practical knowledge. They are the answer to the, I think 60% learners have this problem. That's Suryansh, we don't have the practical knowledge. You have practical knowledge about your domain. Now capstones will tell you the practical knowledge that you have got of product management domain. Over to you, Aparna.
Right, great. Thanks so much for enlightening and highlighting this aspect of capstone projects because, like Suryan said, that's going to be the bridge between your skill gap and the practical knowledge that you said, right? So some examples of capstone projects that you're going to be solving. More of this is available on the course page as well. I'd shared the link to the course page on the chat sometime back, so you could check that. These are again just examples of one or couple of projects that you may be solving, right? So just some more information about the course as to how our past learners have used this course and leveraged this course to take on product management roles, right? So yeah, like Suryan said, you could be from any background and you could still be adding value to this particular course and adding value to your own skill set as well, because you have something known as the domain knowledge, right? So here's one particular learner called Anurag. He's going to share his journey about how he became a PM, a product manager. So I'm just going to play the video here, and my screen is visible to you all. Yeah, yes. Okay.
When you are passionate about something, nothing can stop you. That is why I took a certification program in product management from Simplilearn in collaboration with SP Jain Global University. As soon as I completed my course and posted my certificate on the LinkedIn platform, I received 5 to 6 good job offers. Hi, I'm Anurag.
Right. So that's Anurag, who had completed this particular course. And one second, I'm just going to share my screen once again. Sorry, just give me a moment.
By the time Aparna takes care of the screen sharing, I'll just quickly take a look at the Q&A. It says, can you send all this video? Do we have a certificate? I think Aparna would answer that. Can a fresher become a PM? Neha, yes. Or I would suggest WorkX is preferred, but many a times we have seen people, because we were one of them, getting recruited in the role of a associate product manager. So whenever you join an organization, Neha, you will be given, let's say if we talk because I believe you're from India, let's say we talk of a product like Zomato or WhatsApp. Now WhatsApp will have different features, right? It could be messaging, calls, so on and so forth. You would be given responsibility of one of those features on execution. Just talk to developers and get this thing particular done, starting with a very small role. After that you will progress, and maybe in a couple of years time you become a product manager. How to migrate from a sales operations manager come business analyst into a product owner, product manager, sales. What are the prerequisites and what should I be prepared with technically to take up such roles, and how to crack interviews? Now Shruti, I'll just take this question. After that maybe Aparna can go ahead and continue with the presentation. See Shruti, I believe you're from you're a sales operation manager, right? Therefore your domain pertains more of towards sales, and you say that you cover a BA role as well. See, prerequisites are that first you've got good domain knowledge. That sets apart, because if you're a sales manager you will be belonging to a particular industry. Therefore one of the prerequisite, which is domain knowledge, is already there with you. You already command a higher salary once you apply for a role of a product manager. You're doing a role of a BA which has a lot of working with developers. Therefore, you already possess some kind of prerequisites which are needed to become a business analyst. All right. It says, what should I be prepared with technically to take up such roles and how to crack interviews? See, you must be prepared more of certain things like prototyping, which involves wireframing. Solve or create a few capstones on your own, or maybe check online and show those capstones. Make those capstones go live in the form of a Google Drive link. Show it to the world, the capstones that you have made, maybe a click by click. There's a tool called Balsamiq that helps you do that. We cover that in one of the tools. To crack interviews, your interviews would largely be on your previous work ex and what skills of a product manager you know. So wireframing, prototyping, product planning, budgeting, OKRs, KPIs. These are certain things that these are certain jargons that you should be familiar with, and work more on the product marketing side. Working with developers, you're already doing. Work more with. You need to see if you can get some experience working with different marketing teams. Neha, others, I'll take up the question answers in some time. By the time I think Panna's screen share is working now.
Yes, so it's working here. So I'm just going to be taking you through how the LMS will look like. So like Suryansh mentioned earlier, they're going to be live interactive sessions, and this is how your platform will look like. Okay, so once you are enrolled in the course, you'll be given access to the course, and here's where you get to see the course curriculum. Okay, so you can see here that there's introduction, all the modules that Suryansh mentioned earlier, you will find that here. Okay, right now I'm just going to enter and show you how these modules actually look like. Let me just open up the introduction here. So when you start playing a certain module, you get access to that. And
So learners, how does this work is that you're given some kind of a pre-read. Before every session, you're expected to read that thing. It could be in a form of video or it could be in a form of a PDF. And once you're done that, the live session would add better value to you because you would have already understood some kind of basics beforehand. That's how every module that we're looking at will have some kind of self-learning module, live session, and most of the modules will have a certificate. But for that, you need to have certain answers, certain tracks to be completed, which could be live session, which could be your pre-learning. And also there is an option, there are two options. One option is of keeping notes, just in case a live session is going on, you'd like to take some notes. And the other one is of a help section, which is more of a Q&A, just in case if you have any questions or something, help section takes care of that. And it has got a good enough time to answer your query. So there's an expert on the other end who will take down your queries. Over to
exactly.
you, Aparna.
Yeah, so you could, let's say you're doing a certain live class and you want to take notes, you could do that here or use the help section for any kind of assistance, whether it's about using the platform, whether it's related to the course, anything. So you could get that answered here. And with this, with the help of this particular LMS, you are able to also track your progress as to how much is done, right? And here's where you get access to the electives that we were mentioning earlier. Okay. Now, towards the end of the course, once you're done with your courses, the capstone projects, the entire curriculum is complete, that's when you will have the eligibility to unlock your certificate. Okay, and we're talking about the course certificate here. Some of you are still asking me as to how you can get the certificate for this session. Please wait till the end. We'll collect your names there. Okay, so that was about the online learning management system. And like I said, this will be available to you once you have enrolled. Now, quickly about what you get, just to summarize what you get out of this particular program, you get all the expertise you need to become a product management expert, along with all the practical exposure that all of you said that you didn't have, right? Along with that, you understand how you can leverage AI for product management, and you learn how to use the different tools, right? Okay. And you receive a certificate from UCSD Division of Extended Studies along with Simplilearn. Along with access, lifetime access to the self-learning material, along with the certificate, the case studies, the practical learning that you get, you also have an online convocation, which happens in a very similar setting where you receive these certificates, right? So that is also included in a part of the program. That happens towards the end of your cohort. Okay, so this is all about the course. Now that you've understood what this course looks like and what the benefits of this course are, just one more thing that I forgot to mention. Someone asked me about Job Assist, but I'll just come back to this in a bit. Now that you've understood what this course look like, let me just know if you would be interested in taking this program up. A lot of you had expressed your interest on the chat box asking if you could tell us the cost, if you could help us connect with a learning advisor. That will happen once you select a yes on the poll. Okay, so just a little bit about how this Job Assist program works. Now, this Job Assist program is exclusive to India, learners in India and the US. What happens here is that you have access to resume reviews, you have access to one-on-one interview prep. Along with that, you in India, you get access to a 6-month IIM Jobs Pro membership. So this helps you highlight your profile to recruiters, and whoever your recruiters are, you now know what you will get assistance on how you can highlight your resume, how you can position yourself better to these potential employers, right? So it's not exactly placement assistance. So we don't assure you a job here, but we assist you in the process and help you understand how you can build your profile, how you can make yourself look like you are the right candidate. And of course, you will become the appropriate candidate once you have finished this course. Yeah, great. Some examples of hiring companies that I would like to show. These are some examples, but again, if you could head on to job search portals, you will find more of these companies hiring for product management roles, right? Now, what exactly are the enrollment steps? You just have to fill in the application form that you find on the course page. It's just going to ask you basic details like, say, your name, your email ID, basic contact details, and your graduation info, so which year you graduated from school, which year you graduated from college, just some details, and then the application review happens. Once that happens, and once your learning advisor has given you all information you need, you then, your application is processed, and then you receive a confirmation letter. Now, once you receive the confirmation letter is when you pay the fee. I've not really included the fee here because we have a global audience and it wouldn't make sense for us to include the fee in all currencies. So you could just head to the course page and choose at the footer, you could choose the country that you're from and check the fee in your currency. Okay, so if you're in India, just add GST to whatever you see. If you're in the US, you will find the course fee included on the course page. Yeah, so that's your answer to question about the course fee. The next cohort begins on the 22nd of November. And this again, so that's why we have an application deadline. So because we are still taking in applications for this particular cohort, we recommend that you start applying for this cohort right now, because the whole screening process takes some time, and you also need to take time to understand and make an informed decision about the course, right? So yeah, I'm keeping the poll open for a while, and if you have any more questions about the course or about whatever we covered today, please put them on the Q&A box. Either Suryansh or Shannon would be answering that question to you. Okay, so Anissa, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, funding, no, but we have financing options available. Again, I'm not the right person, so your learning advisor would help you understand what your options are based on the country that you live in. Because like I said, this is a global program. So we have learners from India, from US, from Middle East, from anywhere in the world here. So to understand your financing options, just make sure you click a yes on the poll, and a learning advisor will be with you in the next couple of days to help you understand this. Okay, so on YouTube, we don't have many questions, Suryansh, but just one comment that said, okay, not sure the name of the learner, but someone said that they enjoy these lectures. I think they enjoyed this lecture, and this was the best one that they attended in a while. So
Thank you.
all we have on YouTube. But anything else? Any other?
Let's have a look. I think some people have put I've identified a couple of more questions. I'll just quickly take them up. It says Neha is mentioning that a lot of issues in getting a job, as they say, banking industry, you don't have experience in product manager. Now, learners, she's saying over here that in the banking industry, she's not able to get a job as a PM because it says you don't have requisite experience. Now, Neha, the fact is that they also have a valid point. Therefore, we need to figure out a way in which we show that we are not, what do you say, completely out of the league, and we do fit in something known as a APM role, which is of that associate product manager. Now, Neha, how do you do it? To do that, you need to create your experience. The best way of creating those experiences are, if you know Balsamiq, go ahead and create as many wireframes as possible, solving as many capstones. So if you have a capstone of maybe you want to have a better recommendation engine for Netflix, could be a possibility. So create wireframes on how a new Netflix would look like, wireframes on how new Instagram would look like. Create a wireframe I think you're from India. Create how a new Yono SPI or 811 Kotak Mahindra app or Open Access app they might look like. Or focus more on banking institutions. For example, how you think the app of, let's say, any public sector bank like Canara Bank or Punjab National Bank or State Bank of India can be ramped up so that they look better. In this way, you show that you may not have the experience, but you do have some kind of inclination towards this role, and you're already showing that through your work. If it still doesn't work, there are high chances this may not work. Try joining certain fintech startups. For example, Paisa Bazaar, Paytm, they're still hiring for their insurance broking role. There are product managers working over there. Try joining, if let's say Cred, They are someone who's still looking for this kind of a role. There's another company called Tally. Go and apply for Tally. They are somewhat of an accounting. Therefore, that will give you some, what do you say, an eye in this industry. So that's going to help you. That's going to take care of your experience part. Another question is that will your product manager help create a real product portfolio, as it is something highly asked in PM interviews. See, Anthony, capstones do exist as one of the ways of getting real life experience. Now, when you talk of creating a real product portfolio, for that, Anthony, you need some kind of a team, or maybe if you yourself are a developer, that might be of great help to get the product live. However, a product may not be a real functioning product in the market. It could be a prototype. The prototype is something that you can easily create without knowing any coding. Therefore, if you could create as many prototypes as possible, let's say, Anthony, I'm taking your interview and I'm saying, hey, Anthony, you don't seem to have any experience in creating products. That's when you can say, no, Suryansh, let me just share my screen. I'll show you at least 20 or 30 prototypes that I've made on the industry that I'm claiming to be taking a job with. That will cover up for the real product portfolio experience. Because if I talk of real product, that happens only with development. And for development, you need a team. It says, then Atikur is saying that, I'm currently working as a software quality assurance engineer. All right. And I want to transition into a PM's role. Okay. What is the transition process for me? So the transition process over here would be, first, you need some kind of pedagogy. Because you're already from a tech background, you'll understand these terms more. You need some kind of a pedagogy and a kind of a credibility that you have done something. Next, what comes up next is your capstone, because that's what really shows the work that you have done, which could cover maybe the current client that you're working for. Maybe if you're working in one of the IT services company, you have a media client, you have a banking client. That domain's knowledge plus some of the software knowledges that you have, because you have been a quality assurance engineer, so you have good knowledge of test cases, plus backed by a well framed pedagogy of a product manager's course. Because that's when you can say that since I wanted to transition to a PM role, I took up this particular course. I have completed that particular course with 5 capstones done by me, and I've got this knowledge. Therefore, it will increase your chances of getting screened in your resume. Once that happens, then I believe with your experience and with the pedagogy you have received, you will be able to clear interviews. All right, I think we've taken the can a person with basic knowledge of English opt for a PM program. Communication, Saurav, is 95% of a job of a product manager. The better you are at communicating, the better you are at English, will make you do that job better, because 95% of the time you're only communicating. And communication means communicating with different, what do you say, teams. So therefore, at one time you could be talking more of like a software engineer using jargons like agile, and so on and so forth, scrum, sprint. Other time you could be working with a marketing team and you could be talking of search engine optimization. So yes, that's how things will work. Any other questions, Aparna?
No, nothing on YouTube. Just one question that
Mhm.
Neha has. I think you pretty much answered her
Yes.
question though. As to how she can gain the experience. I think Neha,
Hmm.
right now.
If she's here, I think she would have heard it.
Yeah, all right, great. So if there are no more questions, thanks so much, Suryansh and Shannon, for your time, and thanks to all our learners who've been actively participating. And you definitely learned a lot, and I hope that you take this forward and you also enroll in the course, and that's going to just
Neha, we answered your question in that's how we began. We began with your question only. Anything we have missed, Neha? Okay, maybe she can mention it in the chat box. Thank you so much, Laras. Thanks a lot.
I think she kind of I think
Uh, Neha, it's fine. You can have a look at the recording. I think a couple of questions were asked by you. We took care of that.
Yes, correct, correct. Yes, great session. I know all of you enjoyed the session, but I would love to have your ratings. I'm just going to launch a quick poll again. Give us a rating, how satisfied you are with the session, the delivery, whatever that is. Just give us a rating, one being the lowest, five being the highest. People on YouTube, you could just give us a star or something, or just maybe a number. 1 to 5, as to how much you enjoyed the session. Although I do know that most people did love the way you showcased examples. Great. Okay, amazing. Thank you so much for your answers. Most of them loved the session as usual. Another poll coming your way. Things that you've been waiting for. This is the certificate poll. Make sure you enter your full name properly so that you receive a proof of attendance. You could share this on LinkedIn if you would want to, but make sure your name is correct and accurate, and you're not entering your device name or your username, the email ID. Okay, please enter your full name here. Yes. Okay. Great. 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 Not on the chat, please. Only on the poll that I just launched. Okay, Precious, on the poll, please do not put it on the chat, because we don't record your chats. We don't save your chats. Make sure you put it on the poll. That's how you will receive your certificates. If there are questions about the course, please reach out to us on askus@simplilearn.net. Let's say there's some information that you still need to know about the course. You can scan this QR code that you see on the slide, and that will take you to the course page. Okay. The recording link, Karthik, will come to you on your email along with the certificate. So make sure you have entered your name. That's how you will receive your certificate. Or you don't have to add your email. You can just add your name, only your full name. Your email ID is already recorded. Razak. Yes, great. Please put it on the poll, guys, on the poll, not on the chat, because we won't be able to track these names. Yeah. Great. I'm just going to wait for a couple of more minutes to see if there are any more questions. Yes, you would see this poll on your screen. Precious. Okay, if you can't see the poll, I'm just going to give you a QR code. Here you go. Just scan the QR code that you see on the screen. It's going to load. Scan that and you will be taken to the certificate poll directly. Here you go. Okay, just open your phone's camera, scan the QR code, and that's how you'll be able to enter your full name. Daniel, please do it. Please scan the QR code. Let's say if there's still some issue, please email us on webinars@simplilearn.net. If you're not able to access the poll, this is what you can do. Just give us an email suggesting your full name and your email ID, asking us for a recording link. But you will receive it if you've attended this session. Only thing with the certificate, if you're not able to send in your full name, just email us here. Okay, great. Thank you so much, guys, for your responses. And it was amazing bringing this session to you. Thank you so much again.
Thank you all.
And Shannon. Is there anything else that you would want to ask before we go? Okay. The recording will come to you on your email along with the certificate. And if you need information regarding the course, just head on to the course page. How do you head on to the course page? Here you go. I'm just giving you the link to the course here on the chat. Yeah, there you go. So I'm also closing the chat now. Thank you. Thank you
all. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye. Great. So I'm just going to stop the session now. Thank you so much for joining in. I'll see you in another session. Bye-bye.